I was wondering, did you happen to catch the professional football contest on television last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was most exhilarating. The Giants of New York took on the Packers of Green Bay. And in the end, the Giants triumphed by kicking an oblong ball made of pigskin to a big H. It was a most ripping victory.
Now, I know that's old because there's no way the Giants would beat the Packers, although Aaron Rodgers is out, so maybe it could happen. Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're fired up because we're down to the Final Four, the semifinals of the high school football playoffs. We're going to break it down. Last night's quarterfinal action. Who is moving on from our inland area? We will let you know and tell you who is playing where. And special live coverage coming at you next week for the semifinal round of the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We also have Edwin Weathersby in the house, in studio from the Army All-American Bowl and Football University. So we're going to talk to Edwin in just a second. Man, when you talk about the Army All-American Bowl, I've been to all those. They make those tours when they select the players and they hand out the jersey and stuff. Tons of guys from the IE have gone on that game.
Yeah, and Edwin was telling us before the show he's been everywhere in the last couple days.
I said, hey, where are you tomorrow? And then he gave me his itinerary for the next month and a half, and he's not going home.
Yeah, he said, hey, I'm leaving Spokane right now. I said, wait, you're not in Spokane. You're in Riverside, California.
It's Riverside.
It's Riverside. We're not in Spokane.
So we're going to talk high school football with Edwin as well. In our second segment, the champs are here. The champs are here. The defending D1 state champions, the Roosevelt Mustangs boys basketball team.
Will they be wearing their rings, possibly?
I don't know. I'll have to ask Coach Singleton.
You walk in with this giant ring, big glowing ring, like a Green Lantern ring.
Like a superhero,
Yes.
right? They went all the way to the D1 state championship. They won the whole thing in Sacramento, and they're getting set to tip off their season. They had Midnight Madness last night, but they're in studio with us today. So we'll talk a little high school basketball with the champs, the Roosevelt Mustangs here. We'll also get you ready for UC Riverside against Portland State coming up later today at 4 o'clock tip-off. Jeff and I will have that call live on GoHighlanders.com. And in our final segment, of course, our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. And we'll also have our friends from Boost Performance Training, Bass and Dominick Verrette. Not only are they doing some awesome things, training up high school athletes and beyond in our area here in the Inland Empire, but they're also giving back. They have some special things coming up on Thanksgiving. They could use some volunteers. They could use some donations. And we're going to tell you how you can get involved and really help back, give back and help right here in the IE.
They are very philanthropic.
And that's why we love those guys.
Yes.
It goes much more beyond sports, and that's why we appreciate Boost Performance Training. We also love all our sponsors, right, Jeff?
All of them.
Including Spoiled, quick quality oil change. I was there last night this week because I got to keep my car going strong. We're all over. I can't even keep track of where we're going. We're all over the place.
Yeah, you're driving like 3,000 miles a week.
I'm no Edwin over here, the jet setter, who is from city to city, but we travel quite a bit. Kins Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, and they still dominate. Everywhere I go, it's like, oh, man, it's a sweet jacket. Where'd you get that, Kins? Hey, man, new baseball bats for the team, huh? Where'd you get those, Kins? So we love Kins, and we're glad to be a part of them, a staple here in the IE. Of course, Boost Performance Training, we just mentioned them. They'll train up you in any sport, lacrosse, golf, baseball.
Darts.
You can ask Ray about darts. I don't know if they've gotten to the dart game.
Well, my right arm is pretty strong. I can throw some darts.
Maybe he'll have to start a dart program for you, Jeff.
He really should.
I don't know. But they do everything else at Boost Performance Training and Catalano Motors off Temescal Canyon Road down there in Corona. He loves the IE. He's got some sweet rides, and he's real plugged into the local sports community as well. So we're excited to have Catalano Motors and Derek Catalano here on the Inland Sports Show as well. Go check out what they have off Temescal Canyon. All right, back here live in studio. If you're watching us live and amplified right now on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, Jeff, let's run down a couple of those quarterfinal games real quick as an encore and an entree into our interview here with Edwin Weathersby from FBU and Army All-American. So in the quarterfinals, Division I, Centennial hanging 77 on a very good Murrieta Valley team. And so they won 77-34. So now the Huskies get Bosco. You know what that means?
Rematch.
So last year was in the semis. Bosco won by 2. Bosco went on to win the Open Division State Championship. So
not this year.
You're calling it?
The Evil Empire is going to beat them.
I'm glad you're calling it because we're pulling for Centennial. Although John Rice, a good friend of the show, is now an assistant coach at St. John Bosco, former JW North head coach.
He's not a good friend of mine.
Not anymore?
Not anymore because they're playing Centennial.
So that's a huge D1 semifinal. In Division 2, the money chain. Hashtag money chain. Hashtag goodnight. Heritage beating Calabasas 41-7. So now Heritage goes on the road to Valencia in the D2 semis.
If it ain't Broach.
If it ain't Broach.
There you go. You don't ever bet against Coach Broach.
In Division 3, the Rancho Verde used a running clock, and they beat Hart 55-27. So now the Mustangs will get Charter Oak, and our good friends at Teen Vision TV 16 efforting to get that game live for the people of the Inland Empire.
Be a good one.
They're working on it. It's pricey. Those CIF fees will get you, but they're working on it. In Division 4, Cajon blasted West San Juan Hills 42-21. Murrieta Mesa all over Glendora 54-20. So what does that mean, Geoff?
That means that's a Murrieta Mesa Cajon matchup.
In the semis, and that'll be at Cajon. Again, with IEMG TV, we're efforting to bring it to the people of the IE.
Now, where the heck was Murrieta Mesa when we started the season? We didn't even have them in our radar.
Yeah.
The Rams.
Came on strong, very strong in Division 4. In Division 5, Paloma Valley beat Yucaipa 56-21. Geoff, you were at that game, kind of a head turner.
Holy cow. I mean, it was over by halftime. They put up, 40 points at halftime.
And think about it. Paloma Valley's only 2 losses. I said this last night on Sports Weekly Live. Heritage and Cajon, that's their only 2 losses. So if you're going to lose to anybody, those are 2 really good teams.
Yeah, I think they have their shot this year.
So it's Paloma Valley at Paraclete in the D5 semis. Now to Division 9, top seed Aquinas hammered Moreno Valley 56-7, so the Falcons will travel to Cyprus. And in Division 10, Valley View, Geoff, just keeps on winning. They won a title last year, and in D10, they beat Pacifica 59-28. So the Eagles will make that long trip up to Dos Pueblos in that Santa Barbara area. So that's a long trip for them. So those are our local teams. We have Patriot at Big Bear this afternoon, so a lot more high school football today. And then keep it tuned to at Inland_Sports on Twitter and our website. We'll keep you up to date our coverage plans. I know you're traveling with UC Riverside basketball, but for all of us that you leave us behind, we're going to pick up the pieces and try to do some good high school football coverage.
Dude, I got to go to Michigan by myself this week. I get to see the Ohio State-Michigan football game, though, at the big house. I'll be there.
So it's Michigan versus Ohio State football next Saturday, and then Michigan versus UC Riverside basketball on Sunday.
Yes, I'll be at both.
Yeah, you got my seat.
Yes, I do.
That's my seat on the plane,
it's
man.
It's a nice, warm one there, too.
All right, so now you're up to speed on the high school football playoffs from the quarterfinals as we are en route to the semis for next week. But right now we want to bring on Edwin Weathersby, the West Director of Player Development for FBU and Army All-American Bowl. Edwin, you're all over the place, scouting guys. I mean, you probably see more high school football than anybody else.
Yes, I ran some numbers a few weeks ago, and it came back that I've been to about 52 different high schools in the last 4 months.
Are you serious?
Yes.
From what states? How many states have you gone to? Because I know you're on the West Coast primarily, right?
California, Arizona, Washington being the main states. I supervise everything west of Texas for All-American games.
That's a good chunk of land, and there's a lot of good high school football west of Texas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you stay busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we've got the FBU camps coming up in the next calendar year in 2018. There's one in Los Angeles. We just want to touch on that real quick. It's coming up in April 28th and 29th, right?
That's actually going to be April 21st and 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So the FBU camp in Los Angeles. How do you sign up for that? Do you have to qualify for it? Can you sign up for it?
It's an open sign-up process. You go on footballuniversity.org or fbu.net, create your player profile. There's easy-to-follow instructions from there. You select which camp or camps that you want to attend, and you can register just like that. If not, you create your player profile throughout that process, and we'll reach out to you and give you even more information.
So the football university camps, is that kind of like a breeding ground for, let's say, the Army All-American Bowl? Is that a place where you guys can able to spot talent and scout a little bit?
Exactly. It is the camp, mainly for high school kids. It is a U.S. Army All-American Bowl camp, but we call it FBU at the high school level as well. National Combine invites for the Army Bowl or at the Army Bowl are up for grabs at that camp. And many of our U.S. Army All-Americans have been selected or first initially seen and evaluated at our camps as well. So it is the prime event in our evaluation process to select our U.S. Army All-Americans.
Locally and recently as well here in the Inland Empire, a couple of names I know people are going to recognize from the IE. Sua Cravens has played in the Army All-American Bowl. Kylie Fitz, Vianney Talamavao, Javon McKinley, Jalen Phillips. I mean, some huge names that have become household names on this show, on the Inland Sports Show. Centennial quarterback Tanner McKee has been selected. Chaparral offensive lineman Justin Diedick has been selected. Those are some big, heavy hitters for high school football in the Inland Empire. And Edwin, I remember like in high school, I know you're surprised. I was never picked for the Army All-American Bowl. I know it's a huge shock.
I'm shocked at that.
I know. Yes. I guess you didn't come to my game, but
long snapper,
maybe. But I remember it was such a prestigious thing. Like I remember growing up and watching it and seeing like guys in high school, and you're like, man, that guy's in the NFL now. Like, can you talk about just the pedigree, the players that come through there? Many of them are playing big-time Division I college football and ultimately the NFL.
Yeah, we are approaching 90 first-round picks in the history of the game. And it's over 300 players who are alumni of the Army All-American Bowl who are currently in the NFL. We're talking about guys like Joe Thomas, Deshaun Jackson, Adrian Peterson, Mark Sanchez, and players like that, Odell Beckham Jr. as well. So the pedigree of the game and its prestige is of high esteem. The game is played and shown live on NBC, and it gets over several million viewers, and the prestige of it, it just speaks for itself. When I show up at a high school or I'm out standing on the sidelines at a high school game and people see this shield, they stop and look, and they have a lot of questions to ask. And so this brand has started to speak for itself, and it's only going to continue to grow.
I know there's a lot of other like national all-star games, where they take the best players in the country. But let's get real. It's the Army All-American Bowl. You guys paved the way. It's still the gold standard. What do you think separates you guys maybe from other all-star games that you might find out there?
How we treat the kids throughout the week, and not only that, at the actual event. When I'm out scouting and evaluating kids and doing recruiting per se, we develop great relationships with all our commits, and we also follow up with them throughout their college careers, and just the way we develop those relationships and how we also treat the kids. And when they show up at the Army Bowl week, we also treat their families very well, and we also treat their head coaches very well as well.
Well, funny you say that, because I think the last one I went to was Jalen Phillips from Redlands East Valley.
Yeah.
And I saw Kurt Bruick, the head coach of the Wildcats. And I know Jalen's excited. His parents are fired up. But Coach Bruick was like, man, I get to go to San Antonio. I get to go to this awesome game and be around all these other great coaches and see these great athletes. I think the coach was just as excited as Jalen Phillips was.
Yes. While they're there throughout that week, we have a coaches academy as well, and we wine them and dine them. It's our way of saying thank you for them having their stud prospect play in our prestigious bowl game as well. So that this Army All-American Bowl, each year, it's not just about the player, but it's also about their families and their head coaches as well.
All right, so let's get real. So high school football in the Inland Empire. You see a lot of high school football. Where do we stack up? Is it some of the best high school football you've seen?
I'm from Southern California. I'm a big advocate of California ball, specifically Southern California ball. I can surely attest that Inland Empire football is among the best in the entire country.
Yes, that's the right answer. Yeah.
There you go.
But keep going. I'm sorry.
I see games from Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, all the way up throughout the northern Washington area every fall. And the play here is of high skill, and the athletes here in this area are almost second to none. So where you guys stack up, not only regionally but nationally, it's extremely high.
Now, I've done TV up and down California, so I've covered high school football in the North Coast section, the Northern section, the Sacramento, like San Joaquin section, the Central section, the Southern section. When I got down to the IE and focused on the IE, I was blown away, because across the board, I've never seen so many good teams and so many great players all in one area.
Oh yeah, and I mean, when you guys mentioned earlier about Justin Diedick and Tanner McKee as well, the safety at St. John Bosco, Jaden Woodby, he plays obviously at St. John Bosco, but he's from Fontana, so he's an IE kid as well. So in the history of the talent here and kids at the high school level that's going on to play Division I football, the numbers are outstanding. So players from this region should be proud that they play in this region of Southern California.
So the Army All-American Bowl it's January 6th, right? It's that first Saturday usually in January, nationally televised on NBC. But you also have a Army All-American Junior Combine, right?
Yes, it's an invite-only combine where we invite the nation's best 600, either freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, put them through the paces at the Army Bowl in an NFL-style combine. And that's also a very big platform for us to start the evaluation process for the subsequent years Army Bowl. Bleacher Report calls it the #1 recruiting offseason event in college football recruiting, and all eyes are there, and you've seen a lot of star players, burst onto the national scene at that event.
So was there a guy at the Army All-American Bowl that you saw and you're like, you know what, I have no doubt this guy's got NFL written all over him? Was there one guy that just really stood out in a game for you? For myself, I would like to actually, there's an even better story. Prior to me even joining the company, I was told a story that Sharif Floyd, he came basically to the National Combine almost as a nobody. Nobody really knew who he was. He was a man-child there, dominated one-on-ones. Several weeks later, he's getting offers from Florida State, Miami, and those schools. Obviously, 3 years after that, he's the 12th overall pick for the Minnesota Vikings, and he's in the NFL now. So he's kind of the poster child that we use as how an invite to the National Combine can actually spring yourself in as far as an exposure standpoint, and also get you some consideration to be invited and selected to the actual Army All-American Bowl your senior year. So there's some guys at that junior combine, the underclassmen combine, that will be picked for the Army All-American Bowl.
Definitely. That is our first platform of evaluation.
Because you get them up close and personal, right? You get them right in front of you.
Yes, we put them through an NFL-style combine, workouts as well. And then after that, we like to see those same kids at our FPU camp. And then from there, we've seen them live twice, and then the ball gets rolling.
So outside of football season, I call it the off season, but is that your busiest time of the year? Because you got camps all over the country.
It's arguably our busiest time of the year. We're busy year round, but our camp season, we are in 28 cities throughout the entire country, and we're seeing several hundred players per weekend. Our ops staff does a great job in their respective regions as well, and it's a very hectic but busy time for us.
In about 10 or 15 seconds, sum up where you're going next, because you're all over the place.
Tomorrow I'll be in Seattle seeing our Seattle FBU team, and then Monday I'll be back here seeing our Orange County and Los Angeles teams, and then Frisco, Oakland, Sacramento, and then San Diego, and then back here December 2nd to administer our FBU National Championship Southwest bracket for our middle school tournament.
All right, last question, Edwin. What's the one thing you have to travel with? It's got to be in your backpack, your suitcase, wherever. There's one thing you have to have. Is it maybe outside of a phone?
It's my laptop.
Your laptop?
It's got to be my laptop. Yeah. I got to answer emails and things like that all the time, and that is necessary.
Got to take care of business, right?
Yes.
It's not going to wait for you, even though you're living out of a suitcase.
Yes. Yes. I have to work from the plane, the hotel, at the gate, everywhere from my laptop.
All right, well, that's Edwin Weathersby here on the Inland Sports Show, the West Coast Director of Player Development for the Army All-American Bowl and FBU. We're proud to be a part of what you guys are doing, and, of course, that brand. Like you said, the shield, that carries so much weight, and that logo.
Yes, and we are extremely excited and fired up about being a part of what the Inland Sports Show has going on. It's a special show here, and I couldn't thank you guys enough for having me on, and I look forward to being back if you'll have me.
Oh, I guess we'll have you.
Yeah,
if you can make time for us, just pack your bag and head down to the IE.
You guys have my word. I will make time for you guys.
Sweet.
All right, the great Edwin Weathersby here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE. When we come back, we're going to hoop it up. Like I said, the champs are in the house. The Roosevelt Mustangs, we'll talk about their D1 state championship from a year ago. And can they do it again? Where's the bar set? It's probably very, very high for Coach Singleton and the Mustangs. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Code HOLIDAY to get 50% off all custom holiday cards. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code HOLIDAY.
I thought you had a day off yesterday.
I did. I went in there to pick up my check, came home, supervisor called me about 4 o'clock, talking about they got me on videotape stealing boxes.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Proudly brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change, Kin's Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. Geoff, you came in flying the colors.
Yes, I did. I'm wearing my state championship shirt right here.
That's right, your favorite team, right? The Roosevelt Mustangs.
You're darn right. Hey, there's a ring in here, a state championship ring, right?
We don't see a lot of those in here.
Just like the Green Lantern. He's like a superhero wearing that thing around.
We do have the Roosevelt Mustangs boys basketball team in studio. They're getting set to tip off their season very soon. They had Midnight Madness last night. And, of course, yes, they won the Division I state championship last year in Sacramento against James Logan. Let's start with Coach Singleton in the house. He always makes time for us. We always appreciate it, whether it's here in studio or on a bus in Sacramento.
That's right. On a bus last year. He was driving back with the championship trophy, hanging out, and calling us on the show.
He did. So, Coach, I mean, do you how much do you use last season as, I don't know, fuel or motivation, or do you try to say, hey, guys, new team, new expectations, you got to forget about what we did last year? I mean, how do you balance that?
I've tried both, to tell you the truth, and came out in the beginning when we first started playing fall and kind of brought up the past a little bit, and I don't know if these guys like that as much, I guess you could say, and kind of bringing up the, things that happened. It's a new team, and but they, these 4 guys, played a big part in what we did last year, and so they know what we needed to do and what it takes to kind of be a state champion, be a league champion, to win those games, and so. You kind of do both, kind of see where they're at and kind of bring those things up.
We got the Roosevelt Mustangs here in the house on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Plus, we're live and amplified right now on the Inland Sports channel. Coach, who'd you bring in studio today with us?
I got Jared Williams, returning starter. I got David Ogba, returning starter. Brennan Wade, returning starter. And then Brandon Porter, our sophomore.
So the cupboard's not bare. Of course, Baker and Mitchell were our co-MVPs here on the Inland Sports Show, but the cupboard's not bare. You got some guys coming back. I mean, what do you like about this year's group?
I like that these boys are hungry. They're they want to prove that even with those 2 guys gone, we're still a top team in the area and a top team in the state, and that these guys have a lot of experience, and so we're going to have a great season. I think if we just continue to work and keep our heads down and kind of just really go out there and take every one game at a time, we're going to really surprise some people.
Hey, you guys beat Centennial 5 times last year? Was it 5 in a row? Look at what he did to Centennial. Look at what happened to the program. They beat him, and then a guy goes over to China, gets arrested. It's just gone downhill. Off of this. Yeah, I had to go there, guys. You guys 5-0.
Coach Singleton's like, why he
you just went China on him. Dude, he just killed the program. So right now they're all depressed. But that's going to be a tough one this year. They got some new guys at Centennial, don't they?
They do. They got their 2 big-time sophomores coming back, and Jalen Clark and DJ Davis, and then they heard they got another point guard who came in. So, they're good players, man. I always respect Coach Giles and what he does, and, he gets his boys ready, and I know they're going to they're going to be circling that game when we play them twice on the regular schedule. We play them twice. They'll have it circled. We have it circled too, and so we know what to expect, and they know what to expect, and so it should be a good one.
You guys at the same tournaments at all? Do you know if there's any?
We are in the same tournaments in the Damien tournament, but again, I don't know if we'll be seeing them this year. So,
okay.
You never know when the season comes and playoffs come.
Yeah, who thought 5 times?
Yeah, nobody.
And that SoCal Regional before the state championship game, that was a battle. I mean, so that's hard to beat a team, twice in a season, 3 times, but to go 5-0 is just unheard of in any sport, right?
Awesome.
It's definitely tough to beat a team 5 times, but it's tough to beat a team that beat you 5 times. So,
yeah.
Our boys had confidence in every time we played them and what we can do against them, and it was in our favor last year. So we're very happy with that.
All right, let's get the guys on the mic as well. I'm just going to go down my list. Brennan Wade. Where's Brennan Wade at? How's practice been, man? I know you guys tip off, what is it, the 27th? I think it's Ayala. Does that sound right?
Yep.
So what have you guys been doing in practice right now to get ready for that season opener and kind of put your brand, your stamp on this year's team?
Well, we started practice off with more of like the last year's feel, but then Coach felt like we had to change it up a lot. So now we like kind of divided up and we're a lot more competitive with each other. Like we compete all the time, and head-to-head you have guys talking smack, guys getting after, guys diving on the floor, good defense, good offense. But that's how it's really been. It's like heated, long practices.
Because the competitive practices are going to breed maybe that separation of who's going to step up, right? Because Baker and Mitchell, that's a lot of points right there, right? So who's going to step up? Who's going to put the ball in the basket, get those points, right? I mean, are you hoping to be one of those guys?
Definitely. I'm definitely going to be a top scorer this year. Like, I'll tell you that right now. It's going to go down. And the competitive practice really it really shows the guys that who needs to be out there in certain situations, and it shows Coach like who he can trust.
Can he trust you?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's the right answer. Jared Williams. Where's Jared Williams at? There he is, one of the big guys here on the team. How was Midnight Madness last night? You guys had a big thing to kind of kick off the season, right?
Midnight Madness was a success, I had to say, yeah.
Was there a dunk contest?
There was.
Who won it?
I did.
You did? Oh, I kind of had a feeling. What was your signature dunk that kind of won the whole thing?
I had somebody sit in a chair, and I jumped over them.
You jumped over them? Who was that? Was it a good friend of yours? Or
Yeah.
You want to give him a shout-out here on the Fox Sports Radio Inland Sports Show?
Shout out to Dylan Morgan, my teammate, my best friend.
Dylan's only 4'6", though.
Hey, little guy. But he jumped right over. Jared, what do you, like I asked Brendan over here, what are you guys doing in practice to get ready? Because obviously the expectation levels probably may feel a little bit different after winning a state championship. So what are you guys doing to be ready from that very first game that you guys are going to hit the ground running?
We're playing a lot of defense as of now, going through the offense, learning how to go through the motions, having practices more like game situations, stuff like that.
All right, Brandon Porter. Where's Brandon at?
He's the big guy.
Yeah, he's the big man. He's the five. He's the five in the lineup. Brandon Porter here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We got the Mustangs in the house talking about their great state championship, celebrating them a little bit, but also, getting down to the nuts and bolts, knowing that they got to, try to do this again here this season. And Baker and Mitchell, man, they were big time players. So, Brandon, how do you, as a leader in a leadership role, like, this is a new team, a new identity, right? Not having those two major figures in the lineup. So are guys like yourself kind of have to grab the reins a little bit? And like I said to Brendan over here, like put your stamp on this program, right? This is a new team.
Yeah, new team. So we got to come together and play more team basketball this year.
How are the practices? Are they super competitive like you were saying?
Yeah, a lot of competitive, running through the offense and playing much more defense this year, I believe.
Not like Rancho Verde, Riverside Poly defense, right? Where it's like 30 to 29 games. Like,
yeah, that's horrible basketball.
Put
up some points.
We like some points. Yeah. You guys, I mean, how would you describe your brand of basketball? Would you say like press on defense, high up tempo, set offense? Like, how would you kind of describe what you guys do?
This year, we're trying to run more, so we're picking up full court, playing man-to-man defense most of the game. So I feel like we should be good this year on defense.
How much pride do you take on the defensive side of the court? As I know a lot of guys, you score points, you get in the box score, you get your name in the headline, but how much pride do you take on that defensive side?
I take a lot of pride on defense, not letting my man score, and it's like if they do, you got to just get back on defense and on offense and get it back.
Get it back, that's right. David, another big guy here. David, you didn't win the slam dunk competition?
No, I didn't. I missed my last dunk.
What was your last dunk?
Well, I had two different last dunks. The first attempt, I was going to jump over someone and reverse it from baseline, but that didn't work out, so I tried to windmill out of someone's hand, but I missed the dunk. So.
Well, a long, long time ago, Geoff Gorham actually was a pretty high flyer.
I used to be able to jump a little bit.
Yeah. Did you ever win any dunk contests?
I won several dunk contests.
You did?
Yes, I did, and I have people to prove it.
Where?
I will bring him in.
Where was it?
I will bring him in. I was in the CIF dunk contest when they used to have the all-CIF basketball game, and I won that one.
You did?
Yes, and I had Harold Miner. Harold Miner! Harold Miner! Yes, I can prove it.
Do you believe this?
Mitchell Butler, Harold Miner, Tracy Murray were all.
Jordan.
Baby Jordan had nothing on me. The only guy that hung with me was Danny Griffin. Danny Griffin had he played at Crenshaw, and his arms, he could touch the floor standing straight up. He had the longest arms ever. And he was the only guy that can hang with me.
But you beat Harold Miner.
Yeah, but he missed
These guys don't know who Harold Miner is. He could jump.
Yes.
He could jump.
Yes. Zan Mason, all those guys. They trust me. I was Rex. I was better than Rex Chapman, my friend.
Oh, Rex Chapman. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I could leap higher than Rex Chapman, though.
Well, I know David's probably your favorite player over here because he brought his championship ring in.
Yeah, look at that thing. It's awesome. I'm telling you, he's a superhero.
Did you wear it for us, David, or just you wear it every day?
I actually did. I actually did wear it to show you guys.
So when you don't wear it, where does it have a special case at home? Like, what do you do with it?
I keep it in a special case in one of my drawers at home. Make sure no dust gets to it or anything. Keep it safe.
Keep it nice and clean, right?
Yeah.
So is that a reminder of how special last year was and how bad you want to maybe do it again? Like when you look at that ring?
Yeah, it's like a representation of all our hard work that we put in. So it's like it just reminds me to always work hard. I want another one. Looks pretty cool, I would just want to stack my accolades.
Yeah.
My big question is, do you guys get better looking girlfriends now because of this ring? Because seriously, I know you had some ratchets probably before.
Coach
hanging
Singleton's
around.
looking around.
Yeah, right. I mean, does this like elevate your game? You get a higher draft pick as girlfriends now on campus?
I will say, winning the state championship, it did get us more popular. Like people are interested in.
You guys had a championship parade. I mean,
yeah, they were like in a double-decker bus. So y'all have pretty good looking girlfriends? Except for the guy who didn't play last year, right? He's still got to work on this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, turn the lights out.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Nah, I just have to ask because, seriously, if I had a ring like that, be no stopping me.
Jeff would be, holding it out front everywhere he goes.
Yes, it would.
This thing? Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, did I wear this today?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
If I have a shirt with the ring.
Yeah, with the ring on it.
If my wife's listening, don't worry about it.
We got the Roosevelt Mustangs here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Yes, they did win the Division I state championship last season. They're getting ready for the it's the Big Daddy, right? Citrus Hill and Corona, are those the host sites, Coach?
Yeah, and they got to change the name of that tournament. That's just the dumbest name in the world. The guy who they call Big Daddy isn't even involved with the tournament anymore. I think they ought to bring back the Raincross the Raincross tournament.
You want to see the Raincross?
Yeah, or just rename it something else. That's just a goofy name. Citrus Hill tournament. Sorry, Citrus Hill. No more Big Daddy. Get rid of that.
We love Citrus Hill, and they love us, so they're going to
call it the Inland Sports Tournament.
That's what they should.
Hey,
yeah, darn right. We're more relevant.
Singleton over here. Yeah. But you guys open with Ayala in the Big Daddy tournament. Of course, you play to win the games, right? But how much of these like pre-league tournaments you go to that it's just about working on things, especially if you've got some new guys in the fold that you're just, hey, I want to see you guys playing some good basketball by the time we hit Big 8 league play and, of course, playoffs that, we feel good about ourselves.
Absolutely. That's what these pre-season tournaments are for. You go out there, you put out your stuff, you see what players can do, who you can trust, what works, what doesn't work, what you need to go back into practice and work on even more. So it's going to be good. I always talk to the boys about, in the first tournaments, we're not too worried about our opponent. We're more worried about what we're doing right, what we need to work on, and then what we need to do to get better.
Davey Hopkins at Citrus Hill texting you?
No.
Oh, I thought you called out Citrus Hill. I thought maybe he was blowing
I
you
won't
up
fight
right now.
Davey Hopkins. I won't fight anybody in that family. They're all like 8th-degree black belts. They have their own dojo, for gosh sakes.
They do?
Yes. Davey Hopkins, Kung Fu Sansu.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Is that true, Coach?
It is true.
I don't know, but Davey's a good dude.
Somebody go up to Davey and poke him in the chest. See if he doesn't throw you in some sort of choke, some rear naked choke.
Could happen, right?
I'm telling you, he has a dojo. Look it up.
And you won a slam dunk contest. I don't believe anything you're saying.
I'm telling you, I did. Sons of guns. I almost cursed at you
Harold
right
Miner.
now. Yes.
I'm going to look it up.
He missed a couple dunks, but I still beat him.
I'm going to look it up.
You're darn right.
Well, Coach, before we let you guys go, what are the expectations this year? I mean, is it fair to look at last year and be like, well, Roosevelt, they better win state again in Division I? I mean, because this is a new team. You lost 2 great players, but you've got some talent. Like we said, the cupboard's not bare. So are the expectations different? I mean, how does this year feel like last year? Maybe it's different.
You know what? Our expectations last year were to take one game at a time, go out there, win tournaments, the ones that we were in, go out there and win another league title. And then, once you get to playoffs, it's all about who you're matching up with, what you're going to do, where you're at in your game. And so, our expectation, we definitely wanted to win a CIF and state title, but we weren't looking ahead to that. And that's the same thing with this year. We want to take that first game against Ayala first and then just keep going on from there. We definitely want to retain our crown as being league champions, and being Big 8 league champions. And these boys definitely want to keep that going, that tradition. For the last 2 years we've won that. And then, once we get to playoffs, we'll see what happens. So we're definitely excited. Our expectations are high, but, we know we got to take one game at a time.
That was just coach speak. You know what he really said? I'm going to dominate the world. We're going to beat you all. That's exactly what he said. I was just doing it. I was, relaying it.
Well, last year was such a special season, and I know a lot of teams, they get pigeonholed saying, oh, man, well, they won state. Well, they're going to have to do it every single year now. Like, it's like, hey, well, maybe that's unfair, but you've got some great players here. So I think those expectation levels, now that you've won a state championship, obviously they're going to be raised, but you got some great players here, Coach. It was so fun, following you guys all season long. It was such a special year, and best of luck again this year. I think you've got some great players here, so we're excited to see what you guys do. And we'll probably see you at the Big Daddy, too. We're going to be out there checking out some of those games.
Well, we definitely appreciate you having us on your show. We're big fans of you guys, and it's fun to come
Jeff,
up
too?
here. Yeah, Jeff, too.
Oh,
he's just being nice.
Yeah, everybody's nice.
You guys are great, and I know our boys are excited, and we hope to see you guys around. We hope to be in here again soon, so thank you.
Well, thank you, Coach Singleton, and big thanks to the Roosevelt Mustangs here on the show. Quick reminder, Jeff and I will have Portland State versus UC Riverside live at 4 o'clock today from SRC Arena. Jeff, you been doing your homework on the Vikings, Portland State?
They run and gun. Yeah. My kind of basketball.
Causing turnovers.
Yep.
A lot of points.
Yeah, but they haven't run into Alex Larson, Menno Dykstra, Chance Murray, and Dikembe Martin.
You forgot Brandon Rosser.
Brandon Rosser, Temecula Valley guy.
Golden Bear. Come on.
I just named the 5 starters right there.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, so you're ready for the game.
I'm ready.
So Geoff and I will have the call. UC Riverside taking on Portland State, 4 o'clock tip-off there. All right, when we come back, we have our Marines recruiting station athlete of the week for high school football.
How did he not get this earlier?
I know. The guy who got picked this week has been having a great season. And as we transition out of football and go into basketball, we will have our Marines recruiting station Riverside athlete of the week for hoops. We could have one right here in our studio pretty soon.
Sweet.
All right, we'll be right back here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Am I the only one listening to this? Man, destroying a classic.
Till the fight does up. Don't stop till they get enough. Keep on. Till the fight does up. Don't stop till they get enough. Boom!
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. What a show. I don't believe half the things that Geoff says.
You don't have to.
You won a dunk contest. You beat Harold Miner.
Yes.
And Davy Hopkins' family has a, what was it?
A dojo. Kung Fu Sansu. I'm telling you, I am correct. I've trained there before. Yes, and yes, not trained in the sense that you're thinking of, but yeah, I was quick of hand.
You were?
Oh yeah, very quick of hand.
So you're basically a ninja.
I am a ninja. That's what my wife calls me.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, brought to you by Spoiled, Quick Quality Oil Change, Kin Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona, and the Marines Recruiting Station Riverside. We've got our Marines Athlete of the Week, and this guy has been tearing it up all season long, Geoff. It was just a matter of time before this guy won the award, and when I was really digging up the numbers, this guy was like off the charts. He leads the state, the entire state of California. That's a lot of good high school football. He leads the state in passing and has 50 passing touchdowns on the season. It's Cajon quarterback Jaden Daniels. He threw for 4 last night. He ran for a touchdown, and he's only a junior. He's a 3-year starter, and he's a junior.
He's pretty good, that guy.
Oh, man, he's really good. So congratulations to Cajon quarterback Jaden Daniels, our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. Big win last night against San Juan Hills. And now the Cowboys will host Murrieta Mesa in the Division IV semifinals coming up on Friday. We will have special live coverage from that game. Don't exactly know quite exactly what that's going to look like, but we will be there, and it will be live.
I won't be.
You'll be en route to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, so
cold.
Bundle up.
Eating sandwiches, hanging out in Ann Arbor.
It's supposed to be like 90 degrees here for like Thanksgiving. It's going to be nice and warm for the semifinals here for high school football.
I'll be in a parka.
And speaking of those semifinals, if you want to see the complete list of those semifinal matchups, go to the Inland Sports website right now. We got that all posted up. But right now, we want to bring in some of the best friends of the show.
They're always on the. You know what? Every time we talk, every week they're teaching me how to train, do something else.
You want to ask
the training tip?
Listen, this is the first time we've had Ray Bass in studio from Boost Performance Training. And Geoff, I know you have some questions you want to ask him directly now that we have him in the studio.
You should have bocce ball, curling, darts, badminton, and table tennis. That's you're not getting your big demographic. You're doing football,
he's
lacrosse,
missing that
basketball,
big
baseball. You're really missing a large part of the population, guys. So I would like a training tip of the week, playing a little ping pong.
Training tip of the week.
Yes, because I always look at these training tip of the weeks that you put up.
Well, I tell him because obviously we follow you guys on social media, and I'm like, dude, Ray's training up golfers. He's got lacrosse players in there, and Jeff's like, what about the dart guys?
Yeah, the dart guys.
The bocce ball guys.
Gosh, and then Dom. Let's talk about Dom for a minute.
Okay.
Seriously, I live vicariously through this guy. Let's have him give out all his social media stuff before we leave, because he's amazing. He's always in like suites in New York City, hanging out with high-class models. He's sipping champagne, but in Saint-Tropez. He's all over the place. So that guy, even though I'm married and I got 3 kids, they tackle me and roll around on the ground with me. I'm, kitty litter, like you said.
Yeah, scooping kitty litter.
I'm doing all that stuff. This guy, man, I don't even want to talk to him.
He lives a very glamorous life.
Very, very, very glamorous.
Well, Ray Bass and Dominick Verrette here from Boost Performance Training, because obviously we love Boost. They're training up local athletes here, whether it's the youth level, high school level, college guys. Maybe you're trying to get a scholarship. Maybe you're trying to make it to the pros. They do all that, and it doesn't matter what sport. Like I said, lacrosse. Is it Santiago lacrosse? Yeah, who's in there? Just get up real close. See, the problem, Ray, is I talk real loud, and I ruin it for everybody. Geoff's loud, too.
Yeah.
but you got Santiago lacrosse in there.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are like, well, he's a football guy. He must train football players. Dude, baseball players, lacrosse, you got a golfer in there. Like, where are all the athletes and sports that you train in there?
I mean, really, there's, any sport, really. I mean, it's all about getting bigger, stronger, faster. Every athlete needs to have that, in their arsenal. I mean, we do it all. I mean, we design programs for everybody. So, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. I was a football player, so, to work with different athletes, it keeps me on my toes. It's refreshing. So, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, Dom over here handles like a lot of the social media for
Hugh
Boost.
Hefner over there.
Dom, step up to the mic. Are you really a jet setter? I mean, I follow you on Instagram too. I mean,
yeah, don't hold back.
Not really. I think Jeff's exaggerating a little bit, but
no,
cool.
I'm really not. Check it out.
I'm gonna throw him a shout out and give him some followers tomorrow.
All right, yeah. But really, listen, we love Boost. They're plugged into a lot of the local teams and athletes here, but they do a lot more just beyond the sports aspect. They're in here studio because Thanksgiving's coming up, you know, and there's a lot of people out there. They don't have people to hang out with. They don't have food. Like, there's a lot of people in need right here in the Inland Empire. So, Dom, first off, what do you guys do in the week of Thanksgiving to really give back from Boost Performance Training? And the Lila Project, of course.
So, basically, at Boost, I think Ray would agree that, you know, making a player like a complete athlete, like on and off the field, is extremely important. So what we do is we try to give back as much as we can. Ray is real big on health and wellness, and he hosts the boys from a foster group home, like once a month. They come in and they train, and it's super encouraging for them. You know what I mean? And they get after it. They're more ferocious than some of the athletes we get in there. But this week, Boost is one of our biggest sponsors. Actually,
with the Lila Project,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yep.
My project's called Lila Project, and we do a lot of stuff in the community. Which isn't as glamorous as Geoff.
No, it is. It is. Trust me, it is.
But this week, Boost and our group from the Lila Project, we're going to be having a dinner for about 150 senior citizens from Casa Grande. So I'm excited to get all the Boost private school kids in there and get them after it and kind of teach them, you know, encourage them to give back to the community.
So you're going to break bread, have some dinner, maybe play some games, and just kind of hang out and chill?
Yeah, we got a couple guys coming and doing some stuff, some music stuff, and violinists coming in, and a pianist, and then we have some of the military, U.S. military active service.
Oh, nice.
Stuff like that, and then we have all the Boost guys, the trainers, and the kids are coming out and going to be serving. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. So you guys obviously, like we said, plugged into the sports world, but man, Dom, you just hit a great point. Like, when you want a well-rounded athlete, even just a well-rounded person, right? You got to think beyond yourself and your own little world and what else is going on around you. And there's people in need all over, but especially here in the Inland Empire, right?
Absolutely.
And Ray, how excited are you to team up with the Lila Project here? Because, you know, obviously Dom's all over the place and he does a lot of great things, and Boost was able to, be a part of something like this.
Oh, I'm super excited. I mean, I think it's big for Boost, and I think it's big for our private school kids. Just to let them, experience something that's outside of themselves. It's really big, just having them around, when they were with our the foster kids that came in, just exposing them to, the community and giving.
It's eye-opening, isn't it? I mean, you can get sucked into your own little world and forget about, the people around you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's easy to do that, especially if you're a high school kid. It's very easy to let that happen. So, once again, what's the details on that? Because I know it's coming up. It's Tuesday, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so what's the details again on Dom? And how can people help? I mean, do you need donations? Do you need volunteers? Like, how can people help?
So it's Tuesday. Starts at 3:30. It ends at 5:30. If anybody wants to volunteer, just come on down. You can contact Boost Performance through their Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or you can do the same thing with the project. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, same thing. If you want to volunteer, like I said, come down. If you want to donate, come an hour before we start. We start at 3:30, so come at 3:30, drop off whatever you like. But honestly, I would encourage everybody to come volunteer because you just get more. It's more rewarding. You know what I mean? Like, just to come out there, I'd love to meet. I'm sure Ray would love to meet everybody and create a culture of giving. So that's what we're big on. And we're gonna have a lot of trash that day, and so we're gonna need someone to take the trash out. So your man over here with the Astros hat.
He's called out Kono! Across the bow!
So
that was a direct hit. It was like battleship.
I mean, I'm not saying any names, but
the Astros hat guy. You Dodger fan, Dom?
a little bit.
I get it. I totally
throwing shots all over the place today.
Yeah, it was good. But again, make sure you follow the Lila Project on Twitter and Instagram, right? And you get more information there. So if maybe you're out of town or you're busy this week, but you still want to maybe get involved because Christmas is right around the corner too. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. I'm sure they could hit you up or hit up Ray at Boost, right, and get more involved.
And there was some talking here about Centennial earlier.
Yeah.
But did they win last night?
Oh yeah, big shout out to Centennial football.
Big.
Got to Coach Logan
The evil.
Well, I got to say, I saw that game against Sarah in the opening round. I'm like, oh, no, man. I was a little nervous.
Evil Empire.
So now they get Bosco again in the semifinals. Ray, Dominic, we appreciate the time. We're running out of time, but dude, you guys always have an open door. Absolutely. So if you guys need to talk about something with the Lila Project, you guys know you have a home right here.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right, it's brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. Thank you, Bill Navigado. Great prices. You'll be spoiled and your car when you go see them off Alessandro Boulevard. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire. All your sporting gear needs, plus Letterman's jackets. Go to kensportinggoods.com. Of course, our favorites. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Ray Bass in the house. We'll work on the bocce ball, the darts, anything
curling!
else. Curling!
Ping pong!
When you get the curling ice, like the track, let us know, Ray, when you get that in.
Sudoku or what is that game? You gotta train the brain.
And Catalano Motors in Corona. Check them off Temescal Canyon Road. And go tell Derek Catalano hi and find a new to you car or truck or SUV. Geoff won a dunk contest. We just learned that today.
Yes.
Congratulations. I had no idea you beat Harold Miner in the contest. That's amazing. And next week, you will be on the road with UC Riverside at the University of Michigan. So you have a live report?
I will be live reporting from the big house.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you to Roosevelt Basketball. Of course, Ray and Dom here. And then Edwin Weathersby from the Army All-American Bowl and Football University. We will see you next Saturday, 11 a.m. on the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 a.m.
Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and two-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire. Thanks to our big-name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and, of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Geoff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez. Honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and two-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire. Thanks to our big-name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and, of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Geoff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez. Honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire.